Hello and welcome to the July 2023 edition of SPS Global Insights Report, intended to inform you of critical incidents around the world relating to kidnap, ransom, extortion and piracy. We begin in Haiti, where kidnapping and extortion have long been a grave concern. The presence of some 200 armed gangs, largely affiliated with either the GPEP or G9, continues to undermine state security, with such gangs reportedly in control of 60% of the nation's capital, Port-au-Prince. Such criminal organizations frequently perpetrate kidnappings both as a means of governance and to extract ransom. The United Nations has documented 1,107 kidnappings between January and October 2022, while the Haitian Centre for Analysis and Research in Human Rights recorded 857 kidnappings throughout 2022. Such disparity in the figures underscores the extreme volatility of the situation and the lack of effective documentation, meaning that in all likelihood, kidnapping rates far exceed those reported. Such extreme levels of violence and gang affiliation will continue to pose risks to both domestic citizens and foreign nationals, highlighted through the kidnapping for ransom and subsequent near-month-long detainment of 2 US citizens in March 2023. Staying in the Caribbean, we look now to the US Virgin Islands, where the overseas US territory is blighted by high levels of homicide and gun-related violence. In fact, gun violence has increased by nearly 19% between 1990 and 2016, so that in the latest UN report, the island held the fourth highest homicide rate in the world at 49.26 per 100,000 people. Furthermore, the US Virgin Islands gun homicide rate is almost 9 times higher than that of the US mainland, as the island sits on both narcotic and arms smuggling routes. These routes facilitate a gang culture on the island that serves to undermine the security of both domestic citizens and tourists. Following the island's record growth in tourism in the first half of 2023, up 17% on 2019 pre-pandemic levels, criminal activity on the island could pose a growing risk not only to tourists, but to the reputation of the expanding tourist industry itself. Moving on to Latin America, Chile has witnessed the arrival of the Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua. Tren de Aragua is infamous for its drug and human trafficking operations, which have driven a wave of criminality throughout the country. Largely due to the arrival of foreign organised criminal groups, Chile has witnessed a 32% rise in its homicide rate throughout 2022. In response to growing insecurity, the Chilean government has announced a $1.5 billion package to support security services, alongside new laws criminalising extortion as well as increasing penalties for kidnapping. The growing threats to Chile stem not just from physical means, but also through digital extortion, where in recent weeks, Resida ransomware has been utilised to steal and subsequently publish approximately 360,000 documents from the Chilean army in an attempt to force ransom payment. This highlights the growing audacity of cyber criminals, which places even the largest businesses or state organisations at risk. Moving over to Africa, where in Burkina Faso since late 2016, the KRE risk has drastically risen. Between 2017 and 2022, there has been a reported 27-fold increase in reported kidnappings, according to the Armed Conflict Location and Event Data Project, largely due to the arrival of Islamic terror organizations from Mali, the expulsion of French military personnel and the subsequent withdrawal of UN forces could have a large impact on the country's counter-terror operations, with Islamic terror organizations already in control of 40% of the country. While the north of the country has long held heightened risk, the expansion of the largest terrorist group, Jamaat Nusrat ul-Islam wa al-Muslimin, threatens to spread risk, with kidnappings reported in 10 of the country's 13 regions throughout 2022. While domestic citizens are more commonly targeted, such organizations maintain a capacity to kidnap foreign nationals and hold citizens for extended periods of time, as seen by the recent release of Australian NGO worker Dr. Ken Elliott following his kidnapping back in 2016. We hope our SPS Global Insights report has been of value and urge you to read the full report for a comprehensive overview of the SPS Kidnapping, Piracy and Ransom Bulletin. Stay tuned for next month's edition.